Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Matt with Firewood in the Field. Appreciate you taking time to tune in today. So today is the second day I've been out on site helping a neighbor down the road take care of two black oak trees that came down. As you see, it just missed the kid's swing set, didn't hurt anyone or any property. I think it damaged a barbecue grill just a little bit, but all in all, could have been much, much worse. So yesterday, I cut all that up. There's a lot more down this hill that you really can't see. And then I just had afternoon yesterday. I'm out here in the morning today. Today I'm going to tackle this one. I believe it's a little smaller. When I measured this one, it was about 20 inches. The other one I cut up, my 24-inch bar went through it, but only with about an inch to spare. So today's plan, similar to yesterday, cut this one up, and then I'm going to go run home and get the gorilla back log lift. Some of these pieces are they're right at the edge. I could pick them up, but I'm going to feel it the next day that there's a lot of them there to pick up, and a 22-inch round of black oak, just fresh green. It's heavier than I want to lift into the truck. So as always, appreciate you taking time to watch the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button if you like this content. Thanks a lot. Turn around, we'll see what it's doing. Today I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to use my, just like yesterday, I've got a Stihl MS180 with me and my Echo CS670. So I'm going to use my Stihl to cut all the limbs up, get as much weight off of this as I can, and bring my Echo with the 24-inch bar to take care of the trunk. So I'm going to take my time and go careful. You know, this tree is suspended in the air. I don't have a tractor with me. So I'm just going to go slow and make sure I don't get hurt. I did put a new chain on my Echo, or a freshly sharpened chain. So I made it through all this oak yesterday with the Echo on a resharp chain. But if you've been watching this channel for a little while, there's a couple of videos I put out called Hackberry Chainsaw Day. That's where I cut up several large hackberry logs, or about 32-inch diameter logs, along with a couple of red elms. And that same chain had gone through all that, and then this. It was still cutting. In fact, if I hadn't run out of gas, I was going to go ahead and finish. I got one more cut plus that start, and then going to cut this stump off. But it's time for a new one, so I went ahead and did a little chainsaw maintenance and put a fresh chain on the Echo. All right, and in the old 03 Dodge Ram today. Thanks for watching. Let's get started. Okay, now I can see what I got with this tree. So she's about 3 foot in the air. And where I think it's holding its weight is in a couple places. That joint right there looks like it's hitting the ground pretty hard. And then on the other side of the tree, it's kind of hard to get an angle. Yeah, there's the ones I just showed you. And on this side of the tree, you see where it's got a big V right here? And right there. The leaves are in the way. You can see how that's all split. That hit the ground hard. That's right there. So when I look at this, I can cut that branch. That's free and suspended. I can cut that whole branch up. And this one. Let me back up a little bit. This one here, going out that way. So I'm going to cut those two up next. I'm going to clear more of the brush out. And I'm going to cut that big top one there and that little side one there. And then we'll see then we'll get a better look at the trunk and decide how I want to cut it. I'll probably place some rounds underneath it to help catch it when I cut it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, let's get going. Always a good idea to clear the work area. Plus, I can't get the truck down here anyway, so I moved the logs up. The sun's in my eyes. Let me see it. The driveway right on that retaining wall. I could back the truck right up close to that and load those logs whenever I'm ready to start loading up. All right, but now I'm gonna flip the camera around, show you the other side of this tree, and make a plan for how to cut the rest of it safely. Okay, here we are on the far side of the tree, and this will probably be my next part. I'll just cut this limb up right here. It's just hanging out in the open. Shouldn't be an issue. I'll clean up them little stubby things sticking off of it. And then that limb right there is also sticking out in the air. And then after that, I believe everything I got left is making ground contact. So I'm gonna get these cut up and we'll see what's next. All right, I didn't record that. It was just cutting up a couple limbs, but the one limb that was here is now all cut up into pieces. Some of it I left on the owner's burn pile. Hey everybody, welcome back. New plan of attack for this log. So here I've got it braced up on this end. I haven't measured, but it's about a 3-foot gap there. I think this is where the most of the weight is. That up there is just ancillary. So my plan is to now, I'm gonna cut down there to try to get that free, and I want to go ahead and buck that little limb all the way up to there. And then all I'll have left is the trunk and this little spike, and then we'll probably put some more rounds underneath it to brace it up, and we'll just have to take it one cut at a time. So the good news is I don't have a root ball to deal with. That there's no risk of this tree getting turned back up on me as I cut the weight off of it. It makes things a lot easier. It's all rotted. There's not really a root ball there to speak of. As another option, I had thought about cutting down here first, just right there, right above where I have this log, to try to separate them, but I'm gonna leave that, because that's nice and anchored if something does go wrong down there on that end. You know, the tree's not likely to roll or flip or do anything crazy with it still being connected down here. I'm gonna take my own advice here and clean up the area before I keep cutting here. The log could start to go, and I don't want to have to trip over something if I gotta move in a hurry. All right, I'm gonna try this. I did get that cut and freed up where it was stuck in the ground, so now the weight's on that log. As I cut and it starts to drop, I have logs supporting it, and I hope at some point it will hold itself up just based on being propped way back there. As long as there's no big cracks in this trunk, at some point I'll reach a point where this will just be sticking in the air and I can cut it like you see it. Let me get the camera set up and we'll give it a
Ran out of gas. Pretty close to what I was hoping to get out of this saw. So there's a V right there where I'm going to cut it. There's actually another where it's leaning on is a small piece that I can get a 16-inch piece of firewood out of. But I might come back and cut it at a bigger spot and cut it up there later. So let me go get the bigger saw set up. I'll be back. Alright, this is my medium-sized saw. Got a freshly resharpened chain on it. And same saw you saw at Hackberry Chainsaw Day. So I'm optimistic things will go well, and I can just, at some point this log will be in the air and I can just buck as I want to go. So for now, time to go ahead and get started. This is working well so far. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to position the log a little further up, try to catch it a little higher up on the next one, so maybe I can buck 2 or 3 pieces off at once. Go ahead, pause the video. All right, I've adjusted things a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and cut down there at the end, where my, way down there, where my next cut is due. Planning on it to catch here, then I can cut a couple chunks off without having to reposition another log. That's the plan. Well, so far so good. Key is just to knock it in a hurry. Gonna keep positioning logs underneath to support it and keep going. Right now, I'm gonna get some water to drink. It's hot out here. All right, welcome back. Got set up to do 5 more cuts, I believe. Got that big chunk underneath it, upright. It's not touching it. The one on the end, it's sitting on that. I'll do like I did. I'll cut that end one, make sure I put a wedge in there so my saw don't get pinched. And then I've got Should make 4 more cuts after the front one, so I should be able to get 5 cuts on this run. And all right, well, that all went to plan. Like I said earlier, when do this kind of stuff, one, be comfortable with a chainsaw, have a lot of experience using it. Don't do this by yourself until you've done it a good amount. 2, go slow, take your time. Always start at the far end of the tree, the branch end. Cut as much weight as you can off, get all them little pieces off, and then you see what you got and you go with it. So this worked out really well. I'm really happy how this turned out. So I've actually got a couple more cuts to make from yesterday. Ran out of gas in the saw, and I've got a little bit of the trunk over there to cut up. And then I'm gonna go home and get my little log lift, come back and start putting logs in the truck. Whew. It's a hot one. It's really probably only about 80 degrees, but in this sun I'm cooking. All right, well, thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in to the channel. If you like this content, please hit like and subscribe. See you next time.